Okay.
Thank you.
So, Coach Tokumbo, have you registered for the class in August?
No, I think you said people doing this one should not.
No, that one is a July class, not August. August is the school. Is that one that you should?
Oh.
That is the school that you want to attend. That's the one you should. That's the class you need to be in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is the class you need to join. So I'm making the noise. I'm shouting. Now everybody should join the class in August because that is the main class. That talks a whole lot about everything you need to know as an enthusiast. And if you want to pursue it after that class, you might determine to go ahead for the coaching class. The coaching class would, after the enthusiast class, you will determine if you want to pursue something along this path. But in most cases, most people grab the passion to pursue something along this path after joining that, completing the enthusiast class. Is very important, right? So let's look at education. All right.
Hello, doctor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
First of all, I didn't even know when exactly this section started because I saw 11 a.m. your time. Then secondly, this class you are talking about, because now you mentioned a class of August and you said there's another one in July. So what's this book class all about?
I'm trying to figure out who spoke. Can you tell us your name? Do you mind?
You are not seeing my, okay.
Okay, now I can see you now, but I can't see your name anyway. So what's the name? Okay.
My name is Olumami.
Oh, okay. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
It's interesting. Okay. If that means you have missed some classes and you never went back to, maybe there were no videos for those classes, because I think I've explained in details what the July class is, the boot camp. The July boot camp is a weight loss boot camp, but it's going to be targeting hormone. So it's a boot camp like this boot camp, but the main focus of the boot camp will be hormone research. So nobody in this boot camp should join the boot camp of July. You don't have to join the boot camp in July. Now, if you're already in this boot camp, it is the August class you're supposed to join, which is the enthusiast class. That's the school on its own, with certificates that will be awarded after, at the completion of the program. It's going to run for 4 Saturdays in August. 4 Saturdays in August. So, now, the other question you talked about, the class for today, I really don't know what went wrong in the timing, because Zoom is going to set it to my time. And by my time, the class should be for 12 p.m., 12 noon, my time here. In EST, it will be 2 p.m. EST, and it's going to be 7 p.m. UK Nigerian time. So I want to believe that should be the message that went out, from the emails that were sent,
Okay, now.
Pay more attention to that. Now there are 2 emails. Maybe you want to check the other one. The other one we say 11. That's the class for Wednesday. It is that one that we say 11 a.m. my time, not the one for today. There are 2 emails. One for today's session and one for Wednesday's session. So the one for Wednesday we say 11 a.m. my time, which will be 1 p.m. EST, and that should be 6 p.m. GMT. Yeah, 6 p.m. GMT. That will be UK Nigeria time. GMT +1. Okay.
Okay, now for the class or the school for August, what time is it going to be on a Saturday?
So it's going to run Saturday between 5 and 8 p.m. GMT +1. Between 5 and 8 p.m. GMT +1. So that will be like 5 p.m. between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. your time. I don't know the time anyway. You are in UK or US?
No, I'm in Houston.
Houston? So that would
Yeah.
be, so that is going to be between 12 and 3 p.m.
12 noon.
12 noon and 3 p.m.
I work on Saturday. I would have loved to attend it, but I work on Saturday because, like your Instagram, sometimes I don't know if you see me. I always try to hook up when I'm at work. And the last time I did it, my supervisor caught me because I was just paying attention.
You can always watch Instagram live after the show, so please don't. Don't watch during this. Don't watch during Instagram. Anyway, we will find a way around it. I was thinking Saturday would be a good time. Maybe people also work on Sundays. If they're not working on Sundays, they're going to church. But you have raised a valid point. I at first thought maybe we can run 2 sessions because of the people in the GMT +1 zone, and then we work for another session for the EST at the same day. But that's going to be very cumbersome. So we will still look at it. But I'm saying for now, Saturday seems to be a very good time. So we will see what we can do. It's not courses are not yet available. Maybe you would do distance learning.
Distance learning.
Yeah, distance learning. So we send you assignments to do and all of that.
All right. So
Like I think. Oh.
Okay. Can I start the class for today?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
Don't let me know about it.
All right. Please mute your microphone if you are not you are not seeing anything that has to do with the meeting. You can please mute your microphone. Thank you. All right. So so we would be talking about understanding detoxification. You remember me saying that there are 2 things that would initiate any disease condition, most disease conditions. One is toxicity, and the other one is deficiency. And so toxicity is the presence of unwanted materials, substances, chemicals, elements, radicals that shouldn't be in the body that have found their ways into the body. And so that is what toxicity is. And it's at the heart of several diseases. A body that is toxic is a fertile soil for diseases to grow. If your body is containing or carrying toxins, it's going to be very easy for diseases to be, or a disease condition to be initiated within your system because you are providing all the fertilizer, the manure that they need to survive. For example, when your body pH is acidic, too acidic, it's a very good ground for cancer cells to grow because the cells in the bid to survive will start going through what is called mutation. And mutation will make them to become recalcitrant because they will be different from other cells within the system, and then invasion will begin to happen. So having toxins in the body is dangerous, just like none of us can stay in the bathroom. Even if you go to the bathroom and you poo, after you have done what you have done to do, you should be able to exit the bathroom in a very short time. If you stay there for too long, what you have done that came out of your own body, not even you can live with it, right? So imagine that thing. If it didn't come out of your body, imagine it being shut up in your system. That is what should be coming to your mind when you do not have ways to eliminate waste from your body on a daily basis. And I will be talking about the various ways how God has made the human body and put into the human body those things that can help you to eliminate waste. And when those outlets are blocked, they are not functional, either by either the quality, in quality or in quantity, the integrity is compromised. A whole lot is going to go wrong with the human body. And one of the major things that will go wrong is that a disease condition will be initiated. Okay? So let us understand what toxins are. Toxins are anything that is not supposed to be in your body that is there. So whatever is not meant to be in your body, that is in your body, that's a toxin. Anything that is poisonous to your cells, your tissues, and your organs, whatever is poisonous, whatever is going to work against the normal order of your cells, your tissues, your organs, that's a toxin. You don't want them to be there. Lastly, whatever interferes with your body systems and natural processes. Again, we have to also understand, I always say this, that toxins are not only physical, toxins are emotional. And then when they are emotional, they also elicit certain physical or chemical imbalances or reactions that eventually lead to disease conditions. So whatever is interfering, for example, you are not sleeping well, that's a toxin. Sleeplessness can be toxic. Bitterness can be toxic. Heavy metals, aluminiums, mercury, and the likes of them can be toxic because they interfere with the normal, natural process in the body. Okay? So let's look at the types of toxins that we can get. We have the exotoxins and we have the endotoxins. Exo, from the word exo, means these ones are toxins that are made from outside, but they get into the body by either the way we eat them, or by the kind of environment we are exposed to. So that is how they come into our system. They can be natural and they can be synthesized. When I say natural, I mean, for example, I put an example there, snake venom. The venom of a snake, if a snake bites someone, that's a toxin. It goes into the body, it distorts the normal order of blood flow. Some of them are so poisoned, the poison can travel so fast that the toxicity can be so rapid and can shut down an entire organ or a tissue in the human body. And that's when the person dies and packs up and is dead. So that is an exotoxin. The venom is not made in the human body. The venom is made outside of the body, but found its way into the body. There are some mushrooms that when you eat them, they are poisonous. You don't want to eat such mushrooms. It's another example of natural toxins, natural exotoxins. And you have the synthesized ones, which are the chemicals, the insecticide, the herbicides. All these are chemicals. Heavy metals, they are chemicals. So we get all these ones too by either ingesting them or by the kind of environment that we're exposed to. Radiation is another type of exotoxins, which is outside, but by exposure, we get exposed to them, they come into the body, they distort the normal flow of what the body should go through. Then we have the endotoxins. So you have the endotoxins. These ones are generated by the normal biological processes that happen within the body. Now, they do not become toxic if they can be exited from the body at the right time. They become toxic when they stay in the body longer than necessary, which is one of the things we talk about when you talk about bowel movement, because metabolic waste must exit the body at least once in 24 hours. And so when you have people who do not use the toilet in 24 hours, in 48 hours, what they are doing is that they are accumulating toxins in their system. So you have the result of metabolic waste becoming a toxin. There are times that exotoxins, when they enter into the body, they also make the body to generate endotoxins. For example, when stress takes place, adrenaline and cortisol the body is made to release adrenaline and cortisol, which cortisol, when it's becoming too much and it's in excess, becomes an endotoxin. It becomes toxic for the body. So the sugar, when taken, sugar itself is toxic, it's poisonous. When the body ingests sugar, now there is a lot of insulin that must be released into the system to mop up the excess sugar. The excess insulin can become toxic for the system. So sometimes the endotoxins are also a reaction, like the body reacting to an exotoxin that had been released into the body. Another good example is when somebody is having an infection. If an infection comes in, for example, and a germ, a bacteria, or a fungi gets into someone's body, the first thing that happens is that your body soldiers, your immune systems are mobilized to quickly go to the site and arrest that invader. Now, in doing that, there is something called cytokines, which are the immune messengers. These messengers are stimulated. Then they begin to send messages to the battalion, to the armory, that rise up, guys, we have an invasion, move up there. And so they begin to move there. Now, like in the case of COVID-19, sometimes even when the COVID cells, the virus had been dealt with, the cytokines is still telling the soldiers to keep going out and go to fight. So more soldiers are being released from the barracks and they are going to fight. So when those ones get to the street and they cannot find any virus, they assume that it is the human beings around the road on the street that they should kill, and they begin to kill the human beings. So that is when you find your white blood cells, your immune system fighting against your own body. At that stage, that's a toxic reaction coming up. We need to suppress the cytokine release because it is now becoming an autoimmune disorder where this your white blood cells, your immune system is fighting against your own body cells. They are not meant to fight against your own cells. They are supposed to fight against the invader cells. So this happens, which is an infection. So that's why one of the ways to test your body if you have an infection is to test for the white blood cells level, the level of the white blood cells, and you have about 3 or 4 of them. That is always usually in the blood test, neutrophils, eosinophils, and the likes of them. So they want to test them and see their rate. So they know you have an infection when the rate is higher than normal. So they see that, oh, your white blood cells, there are many soldiers running around your street instead of policemen. So they know that there is an infection. Instead of policemen, you have soldiers. I'm not talking about places that are not normal. In normal places, you don't find soldiers on the streets carrying guns. You may find cops, not soldiers. But in some places where things are not normal, you find soldiers harassing citizens. That is not proper. So that is what happens when you have an infection. There's an infection, you will see your white blood cells going out there, mobilizing to try to arrest the invasion. That could happen because of endotoxins that come in, because of exotoxins that come into the body, then endotoxins begin to come. So the body begins to internally generate toxic materials. All of these, whatever is toxic, and so people know they do this over the years, over the time. By so doing, the body will be managing it and managing it. When the body can't manage it any longer, it becomes something that breaks the body down. That is now, people now begin to cry that, the witches from the village have attacked that fellow. And it's not a witch that attacked the fellow, it is the fellow that has attacked himself. Okay, so why do we have to detoxify? So to detoxify, detoxifying is important. Number one, if you're trying to lose weight, now you get to a point where your body is no longer absorbing nutrients, the necessary nutrients. Why? Because of the various toxins that are there. So when we detoxify, there is room for nutrient absorption. The body is able to make nutrients and bring it up. We detoxify so that the body can heal, because toxins prevent healing. Most cases, when we want to start people up on protocols and procedures, we want them to detoxify first, remove whatsoever is there. And then number 3, we detoxify because toxins can cause DNA damage. Again, like I explained in the case of mutation, mutating cells, because the DNA now, in the bid to survive, the body begins to mutate for a survivor, as a survival strategy. Like, let me use an example. The body is supposed to be in a very cold environment. When the body gets into a very hot environment, it begins to survive. The DNA begins to decode, mutate. If you have ever heard the story before that the whole world used to be black, but as people began to move towards the North Pole, as part of mutation, the melanin pigment needed to change. Mutation is what made them white. That is why we are black. So after several generations, the melanin pigment began to recede as part of a DNA change or DNA damage or DNA change. It's the damage anyway, because if you know the several conditions that white people go through with their skins, you will know that really it's not a perfect skin. It's a skin that is fraught with so many abnormalities, right? So one other thing that can happen is cancers. That is why it's difficult for, I'm not saying it's not possible that somebody of color will have skin cancer I'm not saying it's not possible, but it is rare. It's difficult. It's very rare. It will have been a very serious cases of abuse because the melanin pigment also protects the skin in that way, but they don't have that. So you have serious cases of skin cancer. If they are unduly exposed to sunlight, you see the burning on their skin. That, you know, is because of that DNA mutation. So originally, you are created to be black, and you're supposed to be black. So the black skin is the original skin. That is the main skin. It is the authentic skin. Any other one is a counterfeit. All right. So tell those who are trying to bleach and they should remain in the original skin. Okay. All right. Oh, what I said, some people have not heard it before. Go and research it. I have a class. I've had a class before on the skin, whatever. Maybe I will start doing all those my WhatsApp classes. I'm not sure I will have the time. Okay, so let's look at sources of toxins. Which areas and how do people get toxic materials into their body? Number one, in dentistry, you have mercury in dental amalgams, and I'm also saying this for parents. Please talk to your dentist. If they're going to do any filling for you, your children, let them not give them mercury, let them not use mercury, let them not use any heavy metal. Please talk to them. There are other options and alternatives. They know. Press them, they will bring the alternatives out. Excessive use of fluoride, root canals, nickel. Yeah, I've spoken about that. Say root canals, some people are crowning, they do crowning and all of that. Please ensure that whatsoever is being used for you in your dental treatment does not contain heavy metal. The use of fluoride is in toothpaste. So many of them everywhere. I've advised that if you live abroad, if you live in Nigeria, aloe vera toothpaste are out there. They do not contain fluoride. It's all over Nigeria. Yeah, you can just go online, you find somebody who sells them. They are also here. And then here, there are other alternatives like the Storms, and there are so many other ones that you can use in the UK, in the US, that do not contain fluoride. They are natural, organic, non-GMO. You want to reduce the introduction of fluoride into your body. Why? The public water source in most countries, in most cities, are filled with fluoride. In the halogen family, where you have the fluorine, iodine, chlorine, and the likes of them, nothing in that family is meant to be in the human body. The only one that can be in the human body is iodine, right? So the other ones, chlorine, fluorine, thiamine, you don't want them in your system. So if you use them, I don't know what's going to happen. So they are a major source of toxins. So you want to use toothpaste that do not contain fluoride. Industrial and automobile. Many people, when they buy their vehicle, even for people people who use very new vehicles, a whole lot of the stuff used in making those vehicles, they are still there. Apart from even new vehicles, if you get into your vehicle and it's hot, please allow the heat in the vehicle to escape, to go out. A whole lot of the fabric, the dashboards, so many of those things are made up from hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons. You inhale them, you breathe them into your system. They go into your lungs. They are poisonous. You don't want to get into a very hot car. Many times we do it. So just say, okay, the AC will take over. We tune on the AC, put it on the highest, and then we just drive off. The air, some will be let out by the AC, but a whole lot of it, you just put them in. So before you start your car, roll down the glass, let all the bad air in it escape. If it's a brand new vehicle, my advice is that for a while, when you start driving it, don't drive it with your glasses rolled on. Allow the air in it to go out. All the nylon, the polythene materials used in there, most times they are all still there. And people, there are people, God have mercy. There are people who even buy products. To even remove the polythene, the nylon stuff on those products, now they will leave it there as if they want to return it to the store tomorrow. You see people who buy suits, they will buy suit, they will not remove the label on the hand. They will be carrying about. I will ask them, do you want to return it back to the store? So some people will buy products. Some will buy TV. The nylon on the face of the TV will still be there. They will not remove them. You are supposed to detach all those things because they can, under eye heat, when I say eye heat now, just the sun, blowing on those things, they emit certain stuff into the atmosphere, into the air you breathe in. You don't want to do that. And then if you walk or you live near an industrial area, pay attention to the pollution coming out of there. What I have learned and discovered is that in most cases, they pass a pipe. I'm talking about people who now live in advanced countries or developed countries, let me use that word. The pipe is laid, and then the waste is conveyed to about 2 kilometers or 1 kilometer away from where you are living. Now, the waste is going to be dumped somewhere, a water source, a water body. You have the right to challenge the county authorities, ask them for information. This company that is situated here in our environment, is there any potential hazards to our health by the things they produce, by their byproducts? What about gas flaring? What about how do they exit their waste products? How do they eliminate the waste from the processes they engage in their manufacturing? You need to pay attention to your environment. Very, very serious attention. Somebody was telling me about a research that was done in Shanghai. Yeah, right. That in January of this year, in fact, that even before now, that if there are days when they give out warnings because of the pollution in the air, that certain people of certain ages should not even go out. And that if you have any underlying condition, you should not be on the streets at all. That if you are living in all those tall high-rise, all those high-rise skyscrapers in Shanghai, there are times that if you are on the 7th floor, you will not even see anything in front of you because the pollution is so thick, you can feel it. But guess what? Since COVID-19 and the shutdown, everywhere seems to be clear. The air, the environment, the atmosphere seems to be purified. Why? Smokes coming from emissions from vehicles, from industrial activities, reduced, next to zero. So somebody was saying God probably brought this COVID-19 to put the world on reset, at least to save humanity and save the climate from all the abuses we have put it on. All right, so please pay attention to your environment. It's very key. If you are having issues with your health, one of the areas you want to pay attention to is your environment. So many people don't do this. They just go out and then they believe, well, they can use any medication and do anything, but not paying attention to environment might be a serious challenge. Then food additives, MSG, artificial flavor, artificial colors and flavors. I think we have overflogged that in this class. Monosodium glutamate, some other artificial colors, flavors, preservatives that are used in food. Those things are not nutrients, they are chemicals, they are toxins, they are toxic. You want to run away from them. That will also include GMO foods, food that have been grown with NPK 15 fertilizer. You want to run away from all of those things. Eat your food as close to nature as possible. Again, food packaging, and it's not just food packaging, even other packaging. Some of them, they will tell you. I've also been seeing food that contains silica gel. Even some medications containing silica gel, you got to be careful. Even in some supplements, they will put the gel, wrap it in paper, and put it inside it. Styrofoam, epoxy, can linings. When I talk about the running away from canned foods, processed and refined foods, and we mentioned canned foods. The lining of those cans, you will see that the color is usually different. It has like one brownish, goldish color like this on the inside. Some are silver anyway. Those linings are carcinogenic. They can emit toxins into the body, which is why we come again, we say, no, don't do that. Don't use them. Food packaging, like I've always said, water bottles, most of them are not reusable. There's a difference between recyclable products and reusable products. There are most of these things that are not reusable. You have to turn under the bottle. You will see a triangle. Inside the triangle, there is a number. The number tells about the reusability and the recyclability of that bottle. Most of the bottles used in bottling waters are not reusable. In Nigeria, they even use them to store water. And ask them, after a while, the bottle begins to lose shape. It begins to get one concrete, and all kind of stuff begins after the bottle. They wonder what is happening. They think it's normal. No, it's not normal. You are actually ingesting several hydrocarbons that can be carcinogenic to your health. Most of these bottles are meant to be used once and sent in for recycling, not for you to put water again and put in your refrigerator. I want to advocate, if any of you are using such bottles, in fact, if you are storing your waters in bottles that are not reusable, my advice is that you change all your bottles to glassware. Get glass bottles. And it's not compulsory you store waters in bottles. Get big jars. If you have kids at home that you know they can break bottles, get big jars that are made with glass, and then store water to them directly and let them have a tap. So everybody go to that tap and get the water. Water dispensers also fall in this same category with water bottles. When you check most of the bottles that are being used to sell water for the other dispensable bottles that you use for your water, just check them. After a while, they start changing colors. The colors start fading out. They start also losing shape. There have been cases of people who, when they cannot afford to buy the refill, they boil the water and pour hot water into the bottle. As they are pouring hot water into the bottle, the hydrocarbon from the plasticware is leaching out. And then when they now have money, they go to refill. They send that bottle back to the factory. The factory fills up with water, send it back to you. You go and carry, you will drink. It is seriously toxic. Another advice I give when it comes to buying water from any source, ensure, if you're into water business, I used to give them this advice in Nigeria back then. I would say to them, ensure that the mode of carrying water, transporting the water from your factory to the store is number one, secure. You can't be manufacturing water and you place them in open containers where the sun directly is radiating towards them. Reactions are taking place between the water and the container, the plastic container which you are using. Some people will convey it properly, that's number one. Number two, when it gets to the store where it will be sold, because of storage, most stores, they will put the water out in the open sun. Some will be there, rain will beat them, some will beat them, and you go there, you go and carry them. You say, after all, I'm not drinking water from the well, I'm drinking water. You are deceiving yourself. You are even in more serious danger. My advice is, please pay attention. I will talk about other advices later, but let me just say this, that to have a water purifier in your house is important. Get a water purifier. There are some that you can place that can be attached. You fix them if you are the owner of the house where you live. There are some that you can fix to the main drain, the main source that water gets into your house. The water is filtered, the water is purified. Then you can also get a disc. I call that the biodisc. People, they make that. You can include that. So the biodisc will mineralize your water. That is, add more minerals into it, energize the water, and balance the electrolysis of the water. That can be possible. We are taking in so many toxins from the water we drink. A whole lot of us, we need to change our engagement with the kind of water that you drink. If you rely solely on the water coming from the public water source, I tell you, you are playing with your health. A lot of the time, a lot is going wrong there. Don't think you're in America, you are safe, or you're in London, you are safe, or you have left Nigeria, you have escaped. That is that escape mentality. Please go and change it about your health. You have not escaped. You have just left. You have just left a place of lower concentration to a place of higher concentration, or reverse, whichever is applicable. So don't just relax and believe now, after all, we now have stable electricity. What you should do is to take advantage of those things that are stable and use them to your health advantage, like power that is constant. You know that you can refrigerate your food, you can purify your water and your drinks for your health and the health of your family. I'm talking about water already. So technology and furniture, I mentioned that last week from the presentation from Mr. Samuel from the Apple Group about those countertops from that are made from granite and how dangerous they can be. So you want to, right? So you want to really pay attention to that and ensure that you don't use such materials. Technology will involve the use of our cell phones, having our engagement with our microwave ovens, our engagement with screens and all that things that can give off electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs. You know, you want to pay attention to that. I was advising them in Nigeria some years back, and I told them when GSM came to Nigeria, and since it came to Nigeria, when it first came, those people who took money from those telecoms and they allowed them to put masts in their house. I said this, and I'm yet to find someone who will prove me wrong. I said, go back into those families today and go and ask them 20 years later, how many cancer cases they have had in those families, in those homes. How many people have died of cancer in those homes. I said, go back and ask them if they will be truthful to you. If they have not found any, come back and tell me that you saw somebody who put a mask in their homes 25 years ago when GSM came to Nigeria and they have not found any cancer case. Go and bring that person. I want to see that person. So when the crying about 5G started, I just felt like it was just a conspiracy theory to throw the whole world into panic and confusion. The dangers that were raised about 5G are not new dangers. They have been there since the beginning of telecom. So for someone to now begin to use that one to scare people that it is the Antichrist is total BS. Excuse my French. So these things, these dangers have been there. And there is a convention. The convention is that you do not put a mast close to where people are living. That is an international standard in the telecoms industry, that the placing of telecommunication masts should be done with discretion to where people live. And so if there is no danger posed, they will not come up with that. So we need to pay attention. You are buying a house, you are renting a house, look at the environment, what is around you. And if you are living somewhere right now and your health is not right, go out, look, pay attention to your environment. Do you live near a high tension, high power tension place? You can't be having high power tension cables flying over your roof. You are writing letter to cancer, leukemia, all sorts of things can happen. Pay attention to that because these are all sources of toxins in the human body. I hope somebody is not sleeping yet, because after that workout, you can be sleeping. Don't sleep on me, please. Other toxic sources, chemicals, e.g., flame retardants, your cookware. We have spoken about this every time and every now and again. Aluminum cookware, PFOA, which is Teflon and non-stick cookware. Personal care products, your health and beauty skincare products that contains parabens of other materials, mercury and the likes of them. Fried foods, okay, acrylamide in potato chips, fish, mercury in fish, plastic, bisphenol, BPA, dioxin, all these are stuff, which is why we say, be careful, pay attention to the plastics. You use your plasticware. If it's not reusable, please don't use them a second time. All right, and then the senior brothers, the heavy metals, mercury, arsenic, aluminum, lead, or lead, sorry, not lead, lead. Find lead in pencils. You remember how many toys were recalled in the US because of lead poisoning that was found in them? So many water sources are containing lead. Lead is found in, it can damage your liver, your kidney, reproductive and nervous system. Lead can infiltrate the endocrine system and cause there to be several distortions in the hormones. So you see people trying to lose weight, they can't lose weight because these toxins are present in the body. Cadmium, it contributes to higher cancer. All these are things that heavy metals that can be found in places you least expect them to be. Protect yourself, ensure that you have the right information about the things you use. It's going to help your health. Now, so these are the body's responses to detox naturally. So it is when this is overwhelmed, when the body is overwhelmed, all of these are no longer working, then we need to do something to help the body. For example, the liver. The liver is the first place where detoxification takes place. And the body takes out for every time, your body stores 25% of the blood you use in your liver. What it's doing there, that it is purifying the blood and then sending it out to be circulated around. Number one, it removes toxins, it removes fats, it removes the things that shouldn't be in your blood. After that is done, then it now pushes out for circulation to every part of the body where it is needed. So 25% of your blood per time is in your liver. That is where the first detox takes place, But again, if your liver fails, that's going to be a serious problem that your liver should not fail. take care of your liver. Liver transplant, I don't know whether it is done and how successful it is if it is done. But it's a very serious case you don't want to play with. When you see people who are smoking unnecessarily, people who are drinking excessively, you need to warn them. Many people are drinking, the drinks is frying up their livers. And once the liver packs up, I don't know. I don't think so. If there is, I don't know what the success rate is, to transplant or change liver. So people's liver has been scarred. You see the marks there, it is scarred. There are pictures I could have shown you, but for the sake of this, for time, I won't be able to do that. And then you have the lungs. The lungs eliminate gaseous waste. You have the kidneys. The kidneys also filter blood and it also remove waste. You have the colon. Now, the colon removes solid waste. A research was carried out. Now, most people who are selling all those herbs and drugs for weight loss, this is the area they target, the colon. Now, what scientists have said to us is that sometimes your colon, the waste, the fecal materials in your waste, in your colon, the fecal material that should be passed out, that can stay in your colon, can be between 3 to 7 kg. So remove 7 kg from your weight, what are you going to get? So some people, in fact, there was somebody who died and they did the autopsy. The colon of that person, the fecal material there, weighed 24 kilograms. So when people talk about weight loss, and then they give them those conjectures and all those concoctions to drink, those things go to the waist, to the colon, and remove all the fecal material. So when you have removed that, they say, oh, we have done the weight loss, but the tummy will still be there because the fats there have not been touched. The weight on the scale will show that something has dropped, which is what many of you have done or you have achieved in the last 5 weeks through your diet and your new lifestyle. So we have been able to eliminate the waste and we are not replacing them with new waste coming into your system. But there is still a need for proper detox and more detox to happen. Now, the skin is your largest organ of the body and it's one of the greatest resources for detoxification. And the only way the skin detoxes is through sweating. So which is why this exercise that you do is so important. Now, if you do not sweat regularly or on a daily basis, it's also not a good thing. Yorubas, they will say that if you are not beaten by the rain, no, sorry, Yoruba people, the word kill is used for almost everything. If they are hungry, they will say hunger is killing them. If they are in the hot sun, they will say the sun, instead of saying the sun is beating them, literally in Yoruba language, they will use the word killing. The word is, the sun is killing me. That is the way it is interpreted literally, right? So they now have an adage. They say, if the sun does not kill you, if the rain does not kill you, what will kill you is what? Hunger. Meaning that, look, no sweat, no pain, no gain. Your body is meant to pass out sweat from your skin. A whole lot of toxic materials are being taken out from your skin when you sweat. And there are people who can't even remember the last time they sweat. In fact, there are people who say God caused man, that sweating is a cause. That is not true. You need to sweat daily. As your body is sweating daily, you are eliminating waste and toxic materials from your body. So the one you have just done right now is just one round of sweating. Can't you see those kids? You people are sweating, you are panting. They can still go like 20 minutes more. If you didn't give them water, they will get up and keep going more. They sweat more often. So they are eliminating the waste. Then the lymphatic system. This one, again, the lymph will only pass out waste when you exercise it. So that's the reason for movement. If you are sedentary, your lymphs will not exit waste. So just for exercising alone, you are able to help your skin and your lymphatic system to exit waste. You can see now the benefit of exercise in all of these that we are doing. So if you've not been doing it, or you are feeling lazy about doing it, you're not helping your health at all in any way. You must sweat. You must sweat. So God knows that toxin can kill. And that is why he has made all these various ways for the body to exit toxins naturally from our body. So please do the right thing. I don't think anybody is trying to punish you. Right? Okay. Suggestions for detoxification. I have about 2 more slides and then the class will be over. Use non-toxic cookware. So most of these things, you know, saying them. Use non-toxic cookware, meaning that use cookwares that are not containing toxics. Number 2, pay attention to your skin and beauty care products. Number 3, avoid processed foods, fast foods, fried foods, canned foods, artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, MSG and the likes of them as much as you can. Number 4, avoid undue exposure to radiations, EMFs. You know, when you come to Nigeria, somebody can have 7 phones, 7 handsets, and they are carrying all the handsets around their body. It's one of the wrongest things to do. You cannot carry handsets in your body. It is wrong. With this, you know, when you go and study the Internet of Things, what it's telling you is that all these gadgets that we use, they are talking to each other, and they want to integrate them further to ensure they are talking more to each other. So even when you're not making a call, your phone is emitting radiation, it's working. When you are traveling, when you are in transit, that is the worst time for you to receive phone calls. When you are that period, you are saying, hello, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, the network is poor. At that time, you are leaving a masked area to another zone. So when a mast is in a place, it covers a radius, right? So if you are going to leave the radius of one mast to another radius of another mast, it is possible that you lose signals or the signal is weakened. At the point where the signal is weakened, your cell phones generate more radiation because it's looking for another mass somewhere else where it can connect to and get signal. So in that moment, it's stretching forth a lot. That is why you discover that your phone gets hotter when the signal is weaker. What is happening is that it's generating more frequency, trying to look for a signal to latch onto so as to generate connectivity. So when you are in transit and you are saying hello, more is going out. It's not the time for you to keep those things. Then if you are not having a secret call or a call that anybody around you can hear, my advice is that don't try as much as possible to put your cell phone away from your body, from your face, your ears, or your body. Put it on speaker and let the person be talking and you're talking to the person back on speaker instead of you having to play it by your ears all of the time. So these are advices. You don't need 10 cell phones. And you pump from some people have breast pocket, they have it in their breast pocket. Some men have these bags, this waist bag, where their waist pulse, they put their phone on their waist. Radiations are generated. Some people are beginning to have weak bones in the waist. Some men are having issues with their prostate because of that. So many things can go on. Women who will put money. You remember when they saying don't put money in your bra? You know, women do that, they will put money in their bra. And they said it caused breast cancer. I believe it's because of certain materials for identification, security materials placed inside those notes. But you don't know any note. In fact, when depreciation entered into Nigeria, it got to a point that is the reason you will see them, they begin to convert certain notes into coins because the money required to produce that note, the note is more, the money required to produce that note is more expensive than the value of the note itself, which is happening to almost all the Naira we carry around right now because the Naira has one of the most, one of the biggest security features of any note you can think of in the world. Even our bank checks in Nigeria. How many of you have seen the checks in US? The checks in US, they are just like next to nothing. It's just ordinary paper. Just write on, you take it to a bank. But in Nigeria, the security in your checks alone, they will not tell you there's a chemical that has a film thing. If you put it under light, it will show this. All those are chemicals. All those are substances that you don't need to place near your body. Keep your money in your wallet. Don't put your money near your body. Same thing goes for you. If you're a lady, you are putting your phone. Some women will put their phone in their bra. All of those things could cause radiation that could affect the cells of the breast, and breast cancer can spring up from there. right? So avoid undue exposure to radiation and EMFs. And number 5, maximize your water engagement, like I've explained in the previous slide about things you have to do about your water. Pay attention to your water source and maximize it. Get a good purifier, mineralize your water, and then ensure that your water is giving you all that is required to give to you, okay? And then these suggestions are for herbal detoxification. Number 1, for your liver detox, the following will be important: dandelion, milk thistle. Did I recommend that milk thistle this week or last? Okay, is it? I think it's for people who are in the plus size, the bootcamp plus. They're the ones I recommended dandelion and milk thistle for. I will go over that, but I know by next week everybody will be going through this. We will do that liver detox. We will do the colon cleansing again next week. Next week also there will be intermittent fasting. So you're going to fast for like 2-3 days and pray. So you fast and pray next week for us to cleanse. Pineapple, pawpaw, liver flush. Again, if you have diabetes, pineapple is not where you want to go. Don't use pineapple if you have diabetes. Kidney cleanse, philanthros neruri, cucumber, steamed distilled water will be good for kidney cleanse. For the lymphatic drainage, massage therapy will work. Having a sauna bath will also work. Some people were telling me that sauna is not present in the UK yet, but spas are already opening here in Canada. Book your session. So what I want to advise is this: make sure you have a sauna session at least once in a month. At least once in a, aside from the exercise, the sweating you do your exercise, make sure you have a sauna session once in a month. Go to a spa. Many of you, God has blessed you. And if you are not yet there, don't wait until you get to that place where you think, oh, let me make money to a point and I can begin to. By that time, it might be too late. May they not bury you in that big house and you only live 3 years after being. I mean, that won't be your portion. Take care of yourself now so that you can enjoy the labor and the things that you are working towards now. You know, while you are still in the hustle, take care of yourself. And one of the ways to take care of yourself is please treat yourself well. Get into a spa. Get a good massage therapy. Get a good sauna bath. You know, let all the itch come off your body. If you get those ones where you have those people in chiropractic practices, you know, they have some herbs, some detox herbs that they're going to rub on your body. So when the heat is coming on you, is the detoxification, is further enhanced. Your body is coming out clean. It will show on your skin. This is not just for beauty alone. It's healthy. So your lymphatic nerve system is being helped to detox. The colon cleansing, you have to eat more fiber, psyllium ox. I told some people to get that one. Fennel leaf, aloe vera, and probiotics. We do that. I've introduced some probiotics. You find them in those, the psyllium ox you find in the nutrition shake. If you bought the right nutrition shake and not the one you are buying for 10 naira, you buy the right one. The psyllium ox is part of the things that are there. So you have probiotics, you have prebiotics, you have aloe vera, you have alfalfa, you have so many other superfoods that are in there. And then you can also get some general detox. There are some herbs that will do general detox for you. We do all cell detox. There are teas, herbal teas that will also do that. And then you can engage them and use them. Okay? So let me just read this one. It's so important because some people have been asking me, so what exactly I walk? So walking should be enough for me as my exercise routine. This is the list. This is what Dr. George D. Pamplona Roger, this is what he wrote in his book. He said, when you sleep, you burn 65 calories. When you walk, you are only burning 250 calories. When you do gymnastics, you are only burning 350 calories. When you play tennis, you are burning 450. When you are doing cycling, you are burning 500. When you swim, you burn 650 calories. When you play soccer, Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool, not when I say play now, I'm not saying playing betting, or naira bet, or you are playing with your mouth and watching on your couch. When you're on the field of soccer, you burn 850 calories. And then when you engage in racing, you are burning 1,000 calories. So which of these are you doing? Should be the question we should ask. So when you come to the routine session, like what Coach Tokumbo is taking you through, the whole essence of that, if you can do that for 1 hour on your own every day, there is no way you will have been burning between 850 to 800 calories every day. Between 800 and 850, if you can do 1 hour. So if you do 30 minutes, just put that in half. You are burning between 400 and 430, 435 thereabouts in 30 minutes. But if you can do it for 1 hour, you will have been burning 800, 850. So what is your motivation? What do you want to do? I will advise that try to do the right thing so that you can burn this weight as soon as you can and stay healthy. All right, so that's the end of the class for today. Any question before we close?
Yes, I have a question.
Oh, okay. $10 per
Yeah.
$10 per question.
$10 per question.
Yeah.
Okay. Over the week, I bought this body express. Yeah. So it's like a vibrator. You just stand on it and it starts vibrating all over your body. So is that good for? Is it part of like for exercising? I bought it because
that we only do some. Yeah, I've seen so many of those vibrators. I don't think it's just it will work for your limbs.
huh?
It will work for your limbs. It will do a cleansing for you. I've seen many of those products that are pushed out there. You know, so you sit on some, they shake you. They shake you. So I mean, mainly, I'm not sure you're going to burn calories by using it when you do them. You do not. So one aspect is taken out. So what you're just lazy with is only your limbs, your lymph nodes that will be impacted. So it's good. I'm not saying it's good, but it's not total. Just a part.